I want to bid a shalom to the bride of the Messiah. Sorry, my tongue got twisted. Let me say that again. I want to bid a shalom to the bride of the Messiah and to the 144,000. I bid you a shalom. And I want to say shalom, shalom to the nation of Israel. For you are the bride of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom. The title of this word today, or this video, is Lunar Epact, Enoch Formula of Yah. Israelites and Gentiles, have you ever wondered how are the heathens able to keep their pagan holidays or their holy days of Satan near or close to Yahuwah's holy days, so the world can be distracted and keep pagan days and not his days? Those who have a copy of 1st, 2nd, and even 3rd Enoch, there's 3 books of Enoch, you would learn that Enoch is a prophet of Yahuwah. Okay, he was given a lot of great what's the word I can say, knowledge from the Father pertaining to his heavens, okay, to give us understanding of his heavens, which would give us understanding of Genesis chapter 1 verse 14, so we can know about his calendar. Okay, also when you read Enoch's writings, he gave a prophetic word of the end times. Okay, read about the 10-week prophecy and you will see how it aligns with the book of 1st and 2nd Ezra, the book of Daniel's, and the book of Revelation, and many other sacred books. But first, let me begin with the announcements. Please read the video description box. For our Father in heaven has spoken, Israelites and Gentiles. He has given instruction to the Israelites as well as to the Gentiles. Also on the channel, check out a recent prophetic word. The person would like to remain anonymous, but what he spoke unto them may also be a message unto you. Several of you have confirmed to me that was the same thing he spoken to you. For more is to come in this time of this age. Which brings me to this, the time, okay? When you look at Yahuwah's calendar and you go back in the Bible and the work of Josephus, Jubilees, Enoch, the Gospel, which some people call the New Testament, okay? When you go to all these sacred books, even 1st and 2nd Adam and Eve, it gives us a timeline. Yes, we can figure out what time we are in. I'm just trying to get my paper out so I can take you to the date. A lot of us are not aware about keeping time from Adam, okay? And for those who are keeping a record, you will learn that we are in the 7th day from Adam, which is the 7,000 year from Adam or the 12,000 year for creation. Now, when you read 1st and 2nd Ezra, he would confirm that certain great judgments or great signs become upon the heaven and the earth that would take place in the 7th day. This is what the Messiah was saying unto us, Israelites and Gentiles, that we shall know the season, okay? We should know the seasons, but we will not know the day and hour of his coming. So I'm here to it now so you can see. So we are in the 7th day from Adam, okay? And when I look at, which is the 12,000 year from creation, so the following groups of people that have been keeping up with it is Beta Israel. So far, they got 7,000 and then the 90th year from Adam. So far, what I got from my calculations, I have 7,486 year from Adam. And then Brother Yahshua has 7,518 year from Adam. Now, when you look at the synagogue of Satan, known as the Jewish, who are converts, and in the Hebrew tongue we call them Yahad. Okay, remember, they are under the teachings of the Pharisees. Okay, that's how they got their knowledge and understanding. And they follow the book, which is known as the Talmud. and it's known as the oral law. Now, do not classify all the converts in one group, because just like in the Israelites, we have many sects, they too have different sects. But for the majority, when you look at what they follow the Talmud. Okay, so they will have the 5,779 year from Adam. The reason why their time is way off and way different from the true Israelites, okay, is because they don't believe in the Messiah. Okay. So that way you have that. You also, when you check the video description box, you will have access to Yahuwah calendar. It is free unto you. No one should charge you for his calendar. No one should charge you for his word, for the word has been paid for as written by the prophet Isaiah. Those who are the true servants of Yah will not charge you. Okay? We are his servants. We are to serve the people, not be wolves unto them, okay, or to take from them, but we are to serve you, for those who are called by Yahuwah, in the same manner how the Messiah was called, in the same manner how Paul was called. Go back and look what took place unto them, because those who are his true servants will follow in that same manner. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Later on, if it's the Most High will, I will give a more detailed explanation, because many of you are running out here doing something that you wasn't called for. It's not your office. It's not your position. You didn't get approval from Yahuwah. You think by going to a man's school, that's your credentials. No, no, no. Go back and read the book. It's even in the Old Testament. Look at the days of Moses and Joshua and see what take place that makes a person call for the office that he called him for. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on that. Now, far as the date, okay, I'm going to bring this in closer so you can see. We are in the 28th day of the moon, okay? And we're in the 4th week of the moon cycle, okay? And on the heathen's day, known as Satan's day, okay? Remember what day you talked about in chapter 7, that he will change the times and laws, okay? So on their pagan day, which is known as April the 22nd, okay? So the 28th day of the moon falls on April the 21st at sundown to April the 22nd at sundown. Remember, Satan calendar start from midnight to midnight, which is darkness from darkness. However, Yahuwah's day starts from the going down of the sun to the going down of the sun. He is the father of lights. Hint, hint. Do a word search, father of lights, okay? So he starts his day with light and he ends his day with light. Do you see how the difference is between him and Satan's calendar? So on the 28th day of the moon, okay, we are in his 4th week, and that falls on the 6th day of this week. The 6th day, okay? Also, far as the day of the sun, remember the sun and the moon will not have the same days, because the moon's circuit is shorter than the sun's circuit, such as the moon can have 354 to 355 days, and the sun will have 365 to 366. You got to read Enoch to understand why that is, okay? But knowing this is why the moon starts earlier than the sun, and this is why the heaven produced a 13th moon, okay, to keep the moon aligned in the season, okay? And it's evidence on the channel to confirm that unto you, because I've been starting keeping record, I think around 2014, and those who did not keep the 13th month, I have the evidence and proof to show you what happened unto them. They are keeping Peshat in the wilderness season now. For those who are honest and true and did not lie to the people and did not change the date, something behind their back, and not tell them that they had it wrong, and just be honest. Yes, we still got Israelites not being honest, not being truthful. We all make mistakes, my brothers and sisters. But it's about, what will you do when you make a mistake? Will you repent and be honest? Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. Many of them will not acknowledge the truth And it's simple math for those who are gifted in math. For me, I love math. So when you look at when the moon start shorter, when you look at the moon circuit and it's a few days shorter than the sun, it's common sense. The moon will start earlier than the sun. This is why the Father had the heavens to produce a 13th moon, and the prophet Enoch talk about this. You got to read his writings, okay? So again, just a quick review. We are in the 28th day of the sun, in this fourth of this moon. We are in the 28th day of the moon. In its fourth week, and it's the 6th day. For as the sun, we are in the sun's second month and third day. And on the heathen's day, it falls on April the 21st at sundown, ending on April the 22nd at sundown. I believe today is Wednesday on their pagan calendar. For those who want to learn more about Mazzaroth occur on the 25th day of the moon, and this is when the sun enters into the second sign. And let me go to my calendar and see what name that the heathens give this star constellation. But when you read Josephus, he does talk about this. Let's see, let me go to it. I can find it. Okay, I'm going too far. Hold on. I believe it's Taurus. I know the first sign is Aries. I think the second sign is Taurus. If I have it wrong, please forgive me. But for us in the Hebrew tongue, we would say the second sign of Mazzaroth, okay? Again, Enoch talks about this as well as Josephus. Now back to the title at hand. The title is Lunar Epact, Enoch formula of YAH. This was given by YAH, okay? Remember, Enoch is a prophet. A prophet is a mouthpiece or a spokesperson for YAH. So this comes from YAH himself. There's the Most High has given us formulas, my brothers and sisters, through his prophets to confirm to us to let us know when we started the year correctly, okay? And these are the same formulas that the heathen has used. On the channel, if you type in King James, like KJVA Almanac, that's just a short version of the title. There's a detailed video showing you in the 1611, when you look at the preference and you read the almanac, you will learn where they got that formula from the prophet of YAH, who is Enoch. Okay, so when we look at the year of, let me see here, I'm trying to find where I have to go to. It's the year of 2019 to the year of 2020, okay? And we are in, make sure I look at right. Remember, Enoch's talk about the 3, 5, and 8 cycle. What he's saying that within 8 years, there would be an extra moon produced, and it followed a 3. And it occurs in the 3rd year, the 5th year, and the 8th year, and then that cycle starts all over again. Okay, that's one of the formulas. But the video but in this video, I'm going to focus more on the Lunar Epact because I want to keep this simple and straight to the point. The Lunar Epact is basically a formula that was given by YAH to Enoch so we can know when the new moon will be for the new year. It's a formula for that. Okay, and basically how you can figure out this formula is dealing with the days of, let me see, can I find it here? It's dealing with subtracting the days of the sun, okay, from the days of the moon. And when you follow that formula, and also you got to keep a record of the prior years, because you know with a 13th moon, we can have a surplus of days and we can have a shortage of days that has to be carried over. So this is why you see when you on that calendar link, there's several links you can click on, and one is dealing with Lunar Epact, I believe. When you look at the column that said Adar 2, when you look at this column here, this is the column that lets me know if I'm going to be short days or I'm going to have a surplus of days, which is very important. So I know what I needed to add it to the difference between the sun and the moon circuit. Okay, that's very important. You'll see what I'm talking about. So for the year of 2019 and 2020, I have a surplus of days. I have 17 days, and that came from the 13th moon that was added in the year of 2018 to 2019. When I did the formula for that, I'm just going to bring my phone over slowly. Okay. So when I did a formula for that, I have a bank of 17 days, okay, to be carried over. So when we go to the year of 2019 to 2020, that's the fourth year, okay, in the 8 years, that's the fourth year, we have a bank of 17 days, all right? Now, knowing the days of the sun and the moon, you just got to, keep your record from the first month to the 12th month, okay? For the moon, it can be from the 1st to the 12th month or the 1st to the 13th month if a 13th month was added. Once I have that, I know for the year of 2019 to 2020, the days of the sun is 366 days, okay? You're going from the equinox to equinox. That's how you figure it out. Then for the days of the moon, I got 354 days. All you have to do is keep a record of the moon and add up the days, and that's how you get it, okay? Then the next thing is how to figure out the Epact. What was given to the prophet Enoch, you would subtract the days of the moon from the days of the sun, and that's what I did. And when I did that, the moon was behind the sun 12 days. It was 12 days short, okay? So remember, I have a bank of days. So I have to include my bank of days. This is like a bank. This is what they have give us to keep the moon in a line when it's seasons, okay? So in the year of 2019 to 2020, the moon is 12 days shorter than the sun. Therefore, when I go into my bank, which was 17 days, I add a positive 17 to a negative 12 because I'm short. And I would have what? A bank of 5 days to be carried over to the next year, okay? This is very important. When I get this is my lunar epact. So what it's saying that the moon would start 5 days after the equinox. So all I have to do is look at what day does the spring equinox occur, and I add it to this date, which is March the 20th. March the 20th plus 5 days would make March the 25th. And did we not have the new moon to start on March the 25th? Let me go to my papers here. This is how I know what was written by the prophet is true. Remember in Torah, the Father said he will always give us 2 and 3 witnesses. He will always give us things to confirm what he says through his prophets. This is why I tell you, my brothers and sisters, you must observe the heavens and the earth. These things go hand in hand. They work together, okay? This is how you can test to see the writings are true. The Father made it easy for us, but many Israelites and Gentiles are making it hard. Y'all are trying to reinvent the wheel. You don't want to listen to his prophets. That's the same thing what our ancestors did. You want to listen to the heathens' knowledge, okay? You want to follow their wisdom, but remember, Yah said through his prophet Isaiah, my way is not your way, Adam. My thoughts is not my thoughts, Adam. So we have to get connected to the Father. How we get connected? You must receive the new covenant, which is receiving the Messiah, who is the salvation of Yah, the righteousness of Yah. When you receive him, what he say, I am the way to truth and life, and no one can come to the Father but by me. Once you receive him, guess what? They will abide in you. Who is they that I'm talking about? The Elohim head. Who is Yahuwah the Father? The Son, Yahusha HaMashyach, who is the Messiah and second Adam. Go to the video description blog and you will see the calendar link, and you can even print this out. I made this free so you can look at that. Remember, whoever is teaching you the calendar, it must consist of the 3 lights as written in Genesis chapter 1. The 3 lights are the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth. Even Job talks about Mazzaroth. Yes. Okay. So when you look at Aviv, which is started in the year of 2020 to 2021. Okay. All right. Remember, The Most High calendar is going to overlap in the heathens calendar because they do not follow the heavens. They have a fixed calendar. Nothing is correct. Also in the video, also on the channel and the video description box, I give you the proof and evidence why you cannot use the heathen calendars for none of the Most High holy days. Not for his new moon days, not for his Sabbath days, not for his 3 solemn feast days, which are Pesach, Passover, Shavuot, Pentecost, and Sukkot, which is the Feast of Tabernacles. You have to go back to the beginning of the book and allow the prophets, his prophets such as Enoch and Isaiah, and then you will see the confirmation in the gospel. Yes, but on the channel there's tons of videos to take you step by step, the same way the Father had to teach me in this. That is the same process you will have to go through from the beginning of the book. Also read Jubilees, the work of Josephus. Now I'm going to tell you about Josephus. When the heathens translated his book, they inserted some things, but Josephus left clues to confirm what I'm saying unto you, such as this sheep weight offering is always on a V16. Yes, that is the same day when the manna ceased, when Joshua and the Israelites went into the land of Canaan and ate the corn of the land. Yes, that is the same day when the Messiah arose, which is the first day of the week. Go back, there's a mystery on that, about that 3 days and 3 nights. But the channel talks about all that. But the focus in this video is the lunar Epact. Okay, so when we look at this on the in the Aviv, which is Aviv the first month, and it means green ears of corn. Look at the day when the new moon was seen. It was seen March the 25th at sundown. It was seen in the east and the west. Now, I know with Brother Yahushua, he does things a little different from everybody, but he saw it on day 2 of the moon. Okay, let me bring this up. Okay, so he does things a little bit different. Also, when you look at his calculation, you go to his website, there is some calculation errors. Now, I have been to him in the past. He has been very rude to me, so that's why I have I'm sorry, in that scripture where we dust the dust off our feet, we keep it moving. But that's what I have done with him. I have left him in the hands of Yahuwah. Let him deal with his own shenanigans, because many people are afraid to let him know of the errors, mathematical errors. These are simple mathematical errors, and this is why others are not following or keeping the same day or same time. But that's on him. The Father will deal with that. Okay, so as you see as the proof and evidence, we have here the new moons did start on March the 25th at sundown. So when we go back to the formula, let me get this back organized. We can see as proof and evidence, I'm going to start from the beginning of the sheet. Okay, we're in the year of 2019 to 2020. It is the 4th year in the 8-year cycle. Okay, and according to Enoch, the heavens will produce an extra moon known as the sevenfold. It'll do it 7 times in 19 years. Okay, but it follows a 3-5-8 cycle and it starts back over. All right, and how it's correct, all you got to do is look at the year when the moon appeared at when a 13th moon is added, and you subtract the years from each other, and you would get 3, 5, 8 as the difference. Also, the Father want me to let you know, Jubilees has another clue for us, okay? In the book of Jubilees, because sometimes the moon can start 2 days before the equinox or 5 days before. There's a few days before, so you're trying to figure out, do I add a 13th month? I'm sorry, you're probably trying to figure out, does the heaven add a 13th month or does it wait to the next following year? This is the tiebreaker. In the work of Jubilees, it specifically says those who observe or keep a record of the calendar would observe that the moon come in 10 days too soon. That is the tiebreaker. From my records, when I had go back and I looked at a lot of when I had looked at what the heavens has done with the moon, I noticed that when the moon comes in 10 days too soon, that's when a 13th month is added by the heavens. That is your tiebreaker. Do you see how the Father operates? He spread a piece of the puzzle among his prophets, because we know Jubilees was written by Moshe. So it's not all in one place. See, these things come by the Spirit. The Spirit of Yah will reveal these things or bring these things to your attention to help you to understand Yahuwah's counter. Remember what the word said, that man should not teach you no more. He is flesh. But the Spirit of Yah, who is the Comforter, who is the Messiah, for he dwelt in us, he abide in us, okay, shall teach you all things. 1 John chapter 2, verse 27, and read St. John chapter 14, chapter 15, and chapter 16. Okay, do you see how all this is coming together? It's all connected. So you can't find all the answer in one source, because the Father planned to spread these pieces of the puzzle out, okay, because he knew what the heathens would do. All right, and he also knew about his prophetic word. Did he not say to Israel, did he not curse them and take away his holy days and ensure that they would not keep them correctly? Did he not do that? So his word is his word. We know, as the prophet Isaiah said, that his word do not come back void. It must be fulfilled. But now the Father is what? Waking up the Israelites. He's bringing these things back out to remembrance, okay? He's pretty soon will fulfill or remove us out of this curse, okay? Israelites, okay? Do you hear me? So now we are in the season of truth where all things are being revealed, but we have to unharden our hearts. We have to become like the unleavened bread, empty all the things that we've been taught by the heathens or what you think you may know, and allow the Spirit to teach you these holy, divine mysteries, messages, and things. Okay, it's great to be aligned with him. So let me get back on track. Lunar Epact. So when we look at the year of 2019 to 2020, that is the 4th year in the 8th cycle. I mean, in the 8-year cycle. Remember, 358. Okay. So we will not have a 13th moon. It cannot be, according to Enoch prophecy or formula that was given by Yah. Now, in the year of 2018 to 2019, okay, we did have a 13th moon added, and that was in cycle 3, which is the 3rd year in the 8 years, and it was in the 7th fold, okay. And in another video or another time, maybe the Father would permit me to talk more about that, but I want to keep this short, okay. So we are in the 7th fold in that year. So because of that year had a 13th moon, and after, those extra days was taken out to keep the moon aligned with the right season, we had a bank of days to be carried over, which was 17 days. Now we get into the part where we figure out the lunar epact. And the lunar epact is, we're going to subtract the number of days of the moon from the sun. And when we did that, the moon was 12 days shorter than the sun. Therefore, the moon would start 12 days early, okay? But what the heavens did, we have a bank of 17 days from that 13th moon that was in the year of 2018 to 2019, okay? And what I'm showing you now on the sheet, you can click on those links and you can print this out. You don't have to write this down, my brothers and sisters. But now that we have a bank of days, we have to subtract, from that negative 12. We have to add to that negative 12. So we have a positive add to a negative. And when we do that, positive 17 plus negative 12, we get what? 5. So by we doing that, I take that bank of 5 days, right? To get an idea when will the new moon start for the new year. So what you do, you have to know when your equinox will occur. You take that 5 days and add it to March the 20th of the year 2020, and we get March the 25th. Now, this is a calculation, but like the Father said, he will have 2 and 3 witnesses. And as we see here, when we look on the calendar for this year, we have the new moon to begin on March 25th at sundown. And the east and the west saw it. Isn't that amazing? All right. I hope you understand what I said about the calendar and many other things. If not, you can always email me at followingthemessiah378@gmail.com. I hope this was a blessing unto you because I love to see how what the prophets of Yah spoke and speak to this day come to pass. And another thing to follow, I want to let you know. When you read Revelations chapter 11 about the two witnesses, who are what the two olive trees that stands before Yah, and the two candlesticks is the house of Israel and the house of Judah, those two kingdoms, okay? It is the precepts to that is in Zechariah chapter 4 and Zechariah chapter 11, okay? But what the Father wants you to let you know, because Enoch have not received an earthly death, he is preserved and kept to be one of the two witnesses. And the second witness is Elijah. The proof for the witness, as Torah would say, you must have what? You must have a witness or a confirmation. You have to read the book of Nicodemus, okay? Because as the words say, when we read the word of Yah, only a man can die once. So all the others had died. The only two that have not seen the earthly death, who are kept and preserved in the heavens, just like Melchizedek was. It goes deep, y'all. But anyway, they have not received an earthly death. They are kept for that assignment. You have to read the book of Nicodemus, who is the high priest of Israel. Also, that book is called the Book of Pontius Pilate. Now, sacredtext.com has those books and it's free unto you, my brothers and sisters. Now, however, when you type in Google, sometimes Google give you a hard time finding it. So I learned to separate the two words. Sacred is spelled as let's see, sacred, okay, SACRED space text TEXTS. Do it as a word search. But usually how the website link is sacred with an ED now hyphen text with an S.com, and you can have access to those books and it's free. Okay, so as Messiah said, did he not say that the book of Psalms and what the prophets all there are an extension of what is in Torah, what is written in Torah? Is the extension of what he did do, what he has done, and what he will do, like what is, what was, and what shall come, So do not reject the prophets, because on the day of judgment, you're going to tell y'all many things. You're going to give them many excuses. But the same thing that was in the parable or in the story or testimony that the Messiah gave about Lazarus, who was in hell. I think no, the rich man and the poor man. He gonna tell you the same thing. I have given you my prophets. I have given you my word. I have given you my witnesses, such as the heaven and earth, to prove these things unto you. But you rejected it, and you listened to man. You listen to flesh and not the spirit. This is why I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, get connected. Stop following the flesh and follow the spirit of Yah. Okay, I said enough. All right. Make sure you preach the kingdom of heaven is at hand, for it's truly at hand. We see the signs manifested in the heaven and earth. Okay. For we know the Messiah is coming back to prepare the way for his Father to come to bring the final judgment. And we know the Messiah shall reign for 1,000 years, giving the earth back into the hands of the righteous. He's coming for that. And he's coming for the bride of Messiah. He's coming for the 144,000, and he's coming from the nation of Israel. For two shall be redeemed from the earth, as written, and one shall remain in the earth, for they have another part to play with the beast. Yeah. Read those prophet writings. They tell us so much. Make sure the people receive salvation is written in Romans chapter 8. Baptize them in the water and by the Spirit, just as the Messiah was and just as his apostles has done. Make sure we do these things. For the water is the second witness in the earth, and all the Father creation can witness and speak unto him and give him report. It's a mission that many people don't understand. For his creations are connected to him. They know him. But the only one that's out of order is Adam. Go back and read Genesis and find out why Adam is out of order, why Adam is not connected. Do you understand why the second Adam had to come and what the second Adam restore unto the bride, unto the 144? All right. Shalom.